This is the place. And you say people come from far, far, far away to find their dreams, chasing down these meteors and comets called dreams in the sky of life.
All right, y'all, what's good? It's your boy K-Dot. First Black Super Saiyan. First Black Super Saiyan to arrive on this planet. I'm back here with a quick spoiler-free stream, spoiler-free review. I'm going to talk about this movie real quick. Tomorrow, you guys are getting a spoiler stream. As you guys see in the thumbnail, I was very disappointed by this movie. This movie is abysmal. This shit sucked. This plot was just as weak as 3. Like 3 was completely useless because it was building on a premise and didn't even fucking deliver on that premise, right? Revealing the Creeper's origins. Like, what is this thing? What is he? And the film doesn't tell you jack shit about nothing. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which is a continuation. Honestly, this director should have fully rebooted with the shit he was doing. He totally took lore that's already established and pissed on it, and didn't even stay consistent. Just to start off, the intro of how the creeper is reborn, ass. That shit was trash. I thought of an even better idea of how you can bring back the creeper. And like the setup, the scene, the way they just bring back the creeper was so it just happened. No explanation. They didn't follow up on the ending of 2 at all. They just continued it without actually following up. Thank you, AMBW. Thank you, AMBW. Dropped $5 on the stream. Thank you. But it didn't even follow up on the ending of 2. If you had to recast some of the actors from 2 to make the intro a lot better, then cool. But the way the creeper was revived, weak, lackluster, lame. It just happened. I'm not gonna tell you how it happened. It just happened. It just literally happened. There's no setup. There's no nothing. It just happened randomly, and then we just ride into it. Like there's no building up on anything. Shit just happens. Like boom, 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 like that. What this movie does, it goes down a route of like some Jason in space type of stuff. You know, the creeper's not in space. But it's at the point where this franchise, like, they run out of so much ideas that they have to do so much blasphemous stuff to actually do anything, right? Personally, me, I know this man is trash. He's garbage. He's vile. But honestly, the 4th movie Victor Salva pitched, I would have wanted to see that instead of this shit. I originally did want to see that. What he set up at the end of 3 would have been better than what we got in this movie, because this movie was honestly just ass. 3 set up a great premise, and this movie didn't even follow up on it. The person they cast to be the creeper, nah, they should have brought back Jonathan Breck. Like, you should have brought back Jonathan Breck to do this role, because the new design they do is very different, like different, colors and stuff and all that, and is not as good as Jonathan Breck's. I'm sorry. Jonathan Breck had the better creeper design. Like, they changed it too much. They added in all this stuff in his face and stuff, and it's like, you just changed a little bit too much now. The guy looks too different from the original creeper we seen from the first movie, because it's a different actor under the practical suit that he's in. While he didn't look horrible, it's just that the mannerisms, everything, Jonathan Breck should have been doing this role. Jonathan Breck should have absolutely done this. Our main characters, Chase and Lane, I didn't dislike them. Lane was too corny. Lane was extra corny. Chase, honestly, to me, Chase was the best actor in the movie. Especially when you get into the heat of the movie, when things start to ramp up and, the creeper starts to do his stalking. Chase is probably the best actor. Lane dipped into like old school 80s one-liners and bullshit, and it just got too corny. Like, mind you, even Jeepers Creepers 2 has its corny moments, but it's not corny to the point where I'm like giggling and like like that's how corny shit got. I started giggling and I was like, oh my gosh. It got too corny. Way too corny with Lane, especially in the end when they get to the climax with the creeper and Lane. Oh my gosh. This bitch said this a dumbass one-liner. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like some corny ass 80s fucking 80s action movie. Corny as shit. Nothing will ever beat the original film. One of my top 3 horror films. Breck was insane. Yeah, like 1 and 2 is still the best ones. They're the only good ones, honestly. 3 was at least directed by Victor Salva, but that budget was shit. The actors were just horrible, and the plot didn't even deliver on what it was trying to give us. But 1 and 2 is still the best. Brent Breck should have been the creeper. There should have been no reason why they couldn't get Jonathan Breck to come back. They should have done Victor Salva's script and continued the 4th movie that he was trying to do, because it would have been better than whatever this shit was. Overall, the dialogue was just corny, man. And I'm telling y'all, with the way society is, like the way people talk today, this is fucking corny. And they set up this premise in the movie where the creeper is like an urban legend, or is an urban legend. Like the way they set that up in the trailer and stuff. Like everybody knows somewhat who the creeper is, all that stuff. But then I'm like, why was he an urban legend when the motherfucker is real? Gosh, this shit is so fucking stupid. This nigga is literally hung up in a fucking barn. At the end of 3, they established Trish was like ready and preparing for his inevitable return. The fucking police sheriff knows about it too, because that ending with Trish's character was literally in 2021, where it is now. How is he an urban legend and these motherfuckers walk around like it's creeper themed, urban legend, blah blah blah? Like, how is this shit a fucking urban legend? How? The motherfucker's real. He was strung up in a fucking barn with an old man with a post puncher ready to kill this guy. And I'm gonna tell you guys this. This movie, fuck. I'm not trying to say I can do better or write a better fucking script, but I got to get back to it. The introduction of the creeper was so trash that they didn't even do the stuff like show Ray Wise character, with the post puncher ready to fight the creeper as he woke up. The creeper literally just crawls out the barn, and it's not even the same fucking house. It's not even the same house from the second movie. It's a totally different fucking place. It's a brick house. That shit was a fucking farm. In Jeepers Creepers 2, that shit was on a fucking farm. This shit was in looked like some abandoned factory or whatever. It wasn't even the same location. I understand they filmed this in a different country, and they filmed it during the pandemic. But you could have at least tried to. The other stuff, they could have got away with the rest of the stuff. But the way the creeper got resurrected was done horribly, because you didn't even try to replicate or rebuild the same house or bring back the actors to continue that little segment right there. Yeah, it's basically it's not even a reboot. It's a continuation. Rayvon, it's not even a reboot. It's a continuation. It's a direct continuation, because what they do in this movie is that they continue off of 2. They even allude back to past events in the first movie through in one segment. They literally show the previous stuff from the other movies. And the problem with that is you establish there's a connection, but then you start changing up so much lore to where it's like, this doesn't make any sense anymore. This isn't even the same franchise. You should have just rebooted it if you're going to do something like this, because all these changes that was happening in this do not add up to the first movie or the second movie. Anzo, this shit was bad. It's a waste of time. I recommend you do not watch it. If you want to watch it out of curiosity, go ahead. But this movie is not a good sequel to the first, and it's not even a good sequel to the second. It's a failed continuation that should have been rebooted entirely with what they was trying to do. It should have been rebooted entirely. Should have been rebooted. I walked out, perp. I don't blame you, bruh. I saw somebody walk out of my theater, and I know he was pissed. I literally, when I walked out of my theater, I heard someone say to his other guy, I give it a 4 out of 10. There was like 5 people in my theater, but they looked like they was pissed. They was bored out of their mind. And my theater experience was damn near awful today. So the movie isn't scary. Let me make this clear. The movie isn't scary. It's not scary. It's too much of an action film and not a scary film. When you get to the second half of this movie, there's literally a shot where the fucking creeper walks away from an explosion like in a corny fucking action movie. He's literally walking away from an explosion like he's a cool, badass fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger character. I'm like, bruh, what is this shit? This isn't even scary. He over slow motion and shit, walking away from the fire. Like, yeah, I'm a badass motherfucker. Like, motherfucker, what is this shit? It was so whack. It was whack, y'all. This wasn't even scary. It wasn't even scary like the first movie. Look, the only way to get these movies done right is if you have Victor Salva do it and you give him money. I'm sorry. He's the only one that can do this because he knows this franchise. I'm sorry. Victor Salva, he's a piece of shit. I'm not saying he has to come back. What I'm telling you guys is the only way for these movies to actually be good is if Victor Salva directs it and you give him a budget similar to the first or the second movie. That's literally all you can do. That's all you can do. That weirdo director is the only one that knows his weird ass fucking franchise. He's the only one that can do something good with this. Because if anybody else comes in, they're gonna do some shit like this director. They own weird kooky shit that doesn't make any sense. True, how you urban legend, the writing got me dead. Wait, is basically a reboot sequel to 2. 2 also has one of my favorite horror movie openings. It's what makes me afraid of cornfields. Yep, that opening was badass. The original film always makes you think what could have been, especially after the sequel. Yeah. Dante honestly bootlegged the movie. Someone probably already put it online right now in English, but this movie was not worth it. And they're literally planning to do a new trilogy based off of this new shit. They introduced a new thing into the lore. You've seen in the trailers, they introduce a cult. They introduce a cult of the creeper. I'm like, oh my fucking gosh. Y'all, they introduced a fucking cult. I think they did that in one of the Halloween movies. They introduced a motherfucking cult. This is what I'm talking about. This director and these writers don't know what they're doing with this franchise. Y'all went way off the deep end because this does not make sense with the first 2 movies. It doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And then something happens in this movie which contradicts the second movie because they add in so much shit. Y'all know the crows in the previous movies? Oh yeah, them crows do a lot more. Yeah, them crows do a lot. Too much. Too much for me to suspend my disbelief. Oh, Rogue, don't worry. It was in the trailer. That was in the trailer. That shit was in the trailer. Trust me, it's in the trailer. Gosh, that shit. But yeah, that's all I'm really going to say about it. The only good actor in this movie was the black dude. Let me bring this man up on screen. Let's show this brother some love. This is the only good actor in this whole movie. Honestly, his girlfriend was horrible. My gosh. Emerin Adams. This dude right here, the only good actor from this film. Yes, he had his corny moments. His character was his character was a fanboy. I'm just saying he's a fanboy. But this was the only good actor up in this movie. This dude, that's it, him, Imran Adams. He's it. He's the only good actor in this movie. And I say he's the only good actor because when the moments when you need to be horrified of the creeper, he was selling me. He was like, he wasn't as good as Justin Long in the first movie, but when he was in the presence of the creeper, like he was showing like fear. He was scared. He was so scared you can literally see spit coming out of his full mouth and stuff, like spit, tears, all that. He was selling it. But he's the only good person I liked in this movie. Everyone else was just meh. Even the creeper himself, like, he was meh because you put in a new actor, it's not as good as the previous actor. Green screen was green screen was bad, y'all. The green screen in this movie is bad. Like, that shit's not even good. I understand this was made during a pandemic, but the green screen is too noticeable. I would have gave it a pass if you didn't film this inside a room full of green screen. This is so much green screen that it's nothing practical. And that's what also hurts this movie. There's no practical sets. Because in Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, the whole movie was filmed practically, like in real location. It wasn't filmed in green screen, filmed on location and stuff. What up, Tony? Perfect facts. Mike is dope. Well, I'm just finding out about this movie right now. I had no idea this movie came out. Yeah, Rogue. It should be available at your nearest AMC or Century. There's only going to be out for 3 days, starting today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So I recommend if you want to watch it, you watch it these first 3 days. If you want to pay to watch it, you only get 3 days to watch it until they probably put it on streaming or whatever. But honestly, bootleg this movie. Don't even support it. Like, I'm not going to go see this movie again. If I want to watch it again, I'll watch it on bootleg. I'm not going to go support this movie again because this is trash. A cult? Oh, hell nah. No one not even supposed to know the creeper exists except the psychic girls like in 1 and 2 so they can... Yeah. It breaks so much immersion. Pandemic or no pandemic, I've seen better movies made during the pandemic than this. LOL. I don't even think they tried. They didn't. No, they didn't try. They were just like, hey, here's a franchise. Let's make a movie about it and keep it pushing without actually researching. Like, I really feel like the director didn't watch the first 2 movies. It really feels like he didn't really watch the first 2 movies or really know what's going on going into it, or even the writers themselves. They don't even tie in stuff properly. They don't even continue off of 3 like they should have. What else about this movie? Can I say something good about this movie? The cameras was not bad. I mean, cinematography wasn't horrible. Oh my gosh. The Horror Hound Festival shit in this movie, that is the worst part of this movie. That shit goes on for too long. That shit goes on for too damn long. They literally had a fucking horror festival. That shit happens too fucking long. Just, yeah. Y'all, the Horror Hound Festival is probably the worst thing about this movie. And if they had it in here for just a little bit, like a little bit, they could have skipped over a whole bunch of stuff and got straight to the point. Because that Horror Hound shit, nah. They showed the Horror Hound more than the creeper in its own movie. Weed drinks in this trash movie about to make my night. Yeah. Let me tell you what was scarier than this movie. So like I said, my theater experience was weird for this movie. So the guy I told you guys about that got up and left in the middle of the movie, he's sitting like 5 seats down from me. He gets up and he's like standing right in, he's shimmying. He's shimmying across and he's looking at me. And then he just pauses and looks at me like for a couple seconds. And I'm like, what's up? And he just walked away. And that shit was so weird. I was like, bruh, this don't do this to me in a horror movie. Like, like keep moving. Like who is you? Keep moving. And he just kept going. He kept going. Shit was so fucking weird. I was like, what is going on? And then near the end of the movie, this random ass black lady near the credits are rolling. This random black lady walks up to my seat, and she just staring at me too. She like, I'm like, bro, I'm like genuinely like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this weird shit? This black lady's like, I left my phone over here. Do you see my phone? I'm like, no. I got up, and I got up hella quick. I grabbed my backpack. I moved away from this shit because I was like, yo, like, what's up? Because this shit is mad weird. She was acting hella weird. She stares at me for like a long ass time, and then I'm over here. I'm watching a horror movie, and it's like, bitch, what you doing? You trying to scare me? And she did. She creeped me the fuck out. Then she looks over by my seat, walks away, and I make sure she walks away from me. Like, I make sure she walks away. And I'm like, I don't know if you some weird homeless lady that just walked up in here. I ain't trying to get stabbed or nothing. Like, keep it pushing. And then, oh my gosh, the police came in after. A police officer and some dude came in flashing a flashlight looking. I'm like, what is going on up in this motherfucker? Y'all, that shit was this. My theater experience was mad weird. This movie's cursed, my nigga. This movie is cursed, bruh. I watched a trash movie that's cursed. And that shit happening scared me more than the movie itself. I'm telling y'all, bro. I was not feeling that shit. This shit was so fucking weird. That shit was weird. This was my weirdest theater experience ever. Weird as shit. Perp, I need to hear about yours. If your shit is similar to mine, bruh, if yours happened during Jeepers Creepers, there's something up with this movie, bro. There's some spirits and shit looming over this movie. Damn, just found a bootleg already. Yeah, watch that bootleg. There's one in Russian too, which is like in cam quality. But if any of you guys know Russian, you can watch the Russian bootleg version. Saying my theater experience is bad. Dude was a weirdo. He liked your haircut. He probably did. I don't know, but he was staring at me. He was a big, tall motherfucker too. I was like, can I take this dude? I'm gonna go for his legs if he tries something. I'm gonna tackle that nigga legs and flip his ass. We was sitting at the top of the road too, so I could have easily, if he tried something, I could have easily pushed his ass over the seats. He would have went tumbling down and shit. So I have my escape plan. I have my escape plan ready to go. I have my out. I would have got his ass. 123 Movies has it already. Shouts out 123 Movies. Someone farted and they thought it was you. Yeah, Antonio, it was a weird experience. Like, this is probably my weirdest theater experience. It was so weird. Like, I'm not lying to y'all. When that shit happened like that, I was generally like creeped the fuck out. And then I'm walking home. I was like 10 minutes away from home. And I'm like looking back and shit. Because I'm like making sure that black lady wasn't like following me or nothing. Because that shit was mad fucking weird. And then she asked me, hey, what movie did you watch? I said, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. She was like, okay. I was like, okay. I made sure she walked out before me. Because I was like, you ain't finna try nothing on me. Everybody's having really weird theater. Well, I made sure she walked out first. Because when the police officer came in, which was totally random, he came in shortly after. Maybe he was looking for her. I don't know. But that was just weird that happened like that. Nah, mine's is much worse than yours, probably. Dot, you must watch X and Pearl. Those are new A24 movies, right? Those are new A24 movies. Punch him in the nuts. That's also a way, too. Dot, was a lady fine? The Asian girl stupid as hell. Bruh, let me tell y'all about the Asian girl. This bitch is stupid. Oh my gosh. She was fine. She was fine. She was looking fine. She was looking cute. Damn, that bitch was stupid. Perp knows what I'm talking about. Bitch, how you slip? Stupid bitch. Y'all, this Asian bitch slipped over nothing. I'm like, bitch, get up and run. What the fuck is wrong with your ass? Run, bitch. Oh my gosh. That trip, that shit had me dying. I was laughing out loud. I was like, oh my gosh. What the fuck did you trip over, bitch? There was nothing to trip over. You fell on purpose. God damn. Yeah, Ocean Navarro. She a baddie though. Look at her, y'all. So this is the chick who played the Asian girl. She cute. I ain't gonna lie with y'all. So she played the Asian chick. I mind you, I'm referring to her character. I'm not talking about her as a person. I'm talking about her character. Her character was okay, but yeah, she was. God damn, she kind of looked good out, and you know, shit. I ain't gonna lie, look good with her hair braided up like that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Fuck. I want to see her in more movies with her braids like that. Have a nigga keep watching. I'm telling y'all though, watch it be on Sci-Fi Channel by next week. It probably will. Jeepers Creepers 3 ended up on Sci-Fi like shortly, 2 weeks after its premiere in theaters. This movie is more than likely going to go straight to Sci-Fi. Never reminds me of the first episode of this new Atlanta episode where this old lady is following Darius whole episode. Yeah, bruh. That reminds. Yeah, X, you can find a clear HD copy anywhere, but I recommend checking out Pearl in the theaters. All right, I'm gonna put that on my list of what I need to watch. I need to watch Woman King this week too, so I got a bunch of movies I need to watch. But Woman King is on this list. I'm talking the lady that was staring at you. Oh, she didn't look homeless. She definitely looked weird. Like she looked clean and stuff, you know. But it's just the way she came up at me was just so weird. And the room was still dark. And mind you, the movie just like literally hit the credits. And she just come up in there like, yo, you seen my phone? I'm like, I don't even know you. Why you asking me if I seen your phone? I don't even know you. You know, so that's a weird way to approach somebody, especially, you know, in the theater like that. That shit's a straight to Tubi movie. But yeah, guys, there's not much else I can say aside from this Kaz being so garbo. But this franchise is damn near dead. I don't see what this next movie in this franchise could do to fix this. Oh, it also messed up the creature's regeneration abilities. Like none of his regeneration abilities made sense. We literally saw in the first movie, and him get ran over by a car. He ate a couple limbs and he's back to like full strength. This movie plays on the premise of him being weak, but it's like this doesn't make any sense. As soon as he eats a limb, he's supposed to like come back all beefed up and strong and shit. Yeah. This movie's just like 3. It sets up so much stuff, plays with so many premises that it doesn't even accomplish. What fell off harder, Jeepers Creepers or Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Damn, they both neck and neck. That Netflix one, and compared to this, they both bad. And what bothered me about the Texas Chainsaw movie was the dialogue. I swear to y'all, the people of today, they talk corny as shit. I remember in the Texas Chainsaw movie, the Netflix one, there's a motherfucker with a phone literally recording Leatherface with his chainsaw on that bus. Y'all remember the scene? He's over there like, he's like this with his phone. I'm using my TV remote, for example. Hey, bro, you do anything, you're going to get canceled, bruh. I'm like, who talks like that? I see people on the internet type like that, but who talks like that? That shit corny. That was a problem with this movie too. Corny ass fucking dialogue. I'm not sure if it's a millennial thing or a Gen Z thing. It's one of the fucking two. These niggas talk too damn corny. Take me back to 2001 and shit. Because that the corny ass dialogue of today, how people speak, fucked up this script. Nah, it fucked up this script. It was too much humor in it to the point where it wasn't even scary. Like, I'm sorry. How did you find out it came today? Oh, I got my ticket like a month ago. So when the tickets went on sale a month ago, I already had my ticket ready. So I just, I was ready to see it today. And my ticket went on, the tickets went on sale last month. Got my ticket, went to go see it today. I remember the bus scene. Yeah, it's like, I'm not saying the way people talk today is completely trash. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 was made at a special time, and some stuff only works in a certain time frame. I'm sorry. Certain stuff only works in a certain time frame. Right? Because this movie takes place in 2021. It takes place in 2021, So it makes sense. It's 23 years later from when Jeepers Creepers 2 took place. So things is going to change. I understand that. But you could have you could have made the dialogue a little bit more serious. Like you could have. It didn't have to be so corny. It felt corny on purpose. They took all the corny parts of number 2 and took it too far. But the corny stuff in 2 was still good because you were still generally creeped out the whole movie. But yeah, guys, I don't want this review to go on any longer because, I want to get ready to head to work and prepare some stuff. Yeah, and that's the thing too. They didn't promote this movie at all. This promotion of this movie was horrible. I remember when I was first covering this movie, real quick before I leave, the marketing has been horrible since day one. They was doing this weird thing where they was doing interviews, and they were literally releasing behind the scenes footage themselves. They wasn't leaking it. The people working on this movie was releasing behind the scenes footage of this movie before they showed a official trailer like 2-3 months ago. I'm like, why are you showing us behind the scenes footage purposely? Like, why? Stop it. That was a weird way to market a movie. I'm sorry. That's like backwards. That's like that's like if the MCU was like, yo, let's start releasing our behind the scenes footage and stuff. That's a weird way to market a movie. I'm sorry. It's weird. This movie would have flopped against Halloween Kills. I think that's why it wasn't released in October. Oh yeah, as weak as the second Halloween movie was, Halloween Kills would have definitely destroyed this. Even if Halloween Kills ends up being bad, I don't know if it will be, but even if Halloween Kills ends up being bad, it'll be a bigger topic of the town than Jeepers Creepers Reborn because this movie is abysmal. Wrong movie, LOL. Yeah, but you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and head up out of here. Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I give this movie a beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Trying to process this shit. 0 out of motherfucking 10. This shit was trash, my nigga. Shit was trash. Ass. I'm sorry. I think this is the first movie I ever gave a 0 out of 10. Yeah. At least Thor Love and Thunder is better than this movie. I'll say that much. Thor Love and Thunder is better than this movie. Thor Love and Thunder is better. But you guys, I'm going to head up out of here. This movie was ass cheeks, ass juice. Thank y'all for watching. Go through that peace, love, positivity, and all that jazz. Don't do drugs. Like I always say, deuces. This movie sucked.